It's a reality. Jason Peters is a Dallas Cowboy. Eagles fans are so upset over this. I don't care. He's 40 years old. I just don't care. Good morning, NFC East. Still getting used to that new open here on JAKIB Sports. Obviously, like and hit that subscribe button. Or Good Morning NFC East. And welcome back, everybody. My name is Jeff Kerr. Happy Tuesday. Happy week one. Yes, we're here. We're here. It's week one. I cannot wait for Bills-Rams Thursday night. Doing that game for CBS. More than excited. I actually will not be on the road for any games on Sunday. I'm saving that for Monday Night Football, Eagles, Vikings, and I forget who the Ravens play week two. I got to look that up, but I'm pretty sure I'll be in Baltimore too. Anyway, I kind of wanted to get into this now because it's a reality. Jason Peters is a Dallas Cowboy. Eagles fans are so upset over this. I don't care. He's 40 years old. I just don't care. I don't. Harold Carmichael was a Cowboy. Randall Cunningham was a Cowboy. Ray Danger's boy, Tommy McDonald, was a Cowboy. Usually, Eagles players that go to the Cowboys don't fare well, and vice versa. Cowboys players who come to the Eagles don't usually fare well. I think the best one might be Herschel Walker, if you want to be honest, the Cowboys players that came over to Philadelphia. And then Herschel Walker went back to the Cowboys anyway. DeMarco Murray was terrible. Chris Bonial was terrible. They're the two that just pop up right into my head. But there's an ulterior motive here with the Dallas Cowboys and bringing in Jason Peters. They can say whatever they want. They can say it's a death move, but is it really? Because you drafted a tackle in the fourth round, a left tackle in the fourth round of this year's draft. Is Jerry Jones admitting he's wrong? Yeah, I think so. Because why would you bring in 40-year-old Jason Peters? You didn't give that left tackle a chance to win the job. You played him in the last preseason game. He didn't play that well. Tyler Smith is going to be your left tackle week one. Tyler Smith is going to be the left tackle week one. That's fine. I get it. It's a death move. I do get it from that perspective. But you got to read into it a little bit. The Cowboys don't have any depth behind Tyler Smith. They don't have any depth at guard. It's Connor McGovern. I can't even tell you the Cowboys' backup left tackle is without looking it up. In fact, I am going to look it up just because I'm curious of who the Cowboys... Oh, guess who their backup left guard is on their depth chart? Tyler Smith. So Tyler Smith is their starting tackle on their backup left guard. So Connor McGovern goes down. They don't have anybody. So they had to bring in Jason Peters, who is, I don't even know if he is the best left tackle available on the market. It might be Eric Fisher. I don't know. Eric Fisher's jobless. So, Jason Peters from East Texas. It makes sense. I'm going to give you a couple quotes here from what Jason Peters said. You remember a couple years ago when he kind of roasted the Cowboys and they had an Eagles truck? He said, "You can't blame me. We were rivals." He said his meeting with Jerry Jones was love at first sight. Yeah, okay. All right, Jason, whatever. The Cowboys are paying you. Again, if I'm an Eagles fan, I wouldn't get too worked up over Jason Peters wearing Cowboys colors. I just wouldn't. It's the business of the NFL. It happens. I was more hurt seeing Brian Dawkins wear a Denver Broncos uniform than I was Jason Peters wearing a Cowboys uniform. Jason Peters has a Super Bowl ring with the Philadelphia Eagles. He's going to go to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and there's going to be a lot of Eagles fans there supporting him, which they should be. Because Jason Peters was a damn good left tackle on this football team for a decade plus. And I will tell you this personally. Jason Peters said 6 years ago, he wanted to play football. His goal was to play football when he was 40 years old. He wanted to stick around in the NFL until he was 40 years old. Jason Peters is 40 years old and he's still sticking around in the NFL. So mission accomplished. I don't care where it's at. He's the second oldest player in the NFL behind Tom Brady. I got to give him congratulations for that. I really do. But I just don't care he's a Dallas Cowboy. I don't. He'll probably be their left tackle at some point this season. They'll move Tyler Smith to guard. It won't be this week. It will not be this week. He's on the practice squad. He has to get ready. He hasn't had training camp. May not even be next week. But week 6 against Philadelphia Eagles? It's a possibility. Like, Dallas is all in. Where they got to replace guys on the offensive line or not, where they have issues at running back or not, they don't. But they're paying the guy a lot of money, and Ezekiel Elliott, when they could have filled up other holes on this roster. I don't think the Cowboys are going to take this dramatic step back like everybody else does. I don't. I still think they're a 10-win team. I still think they're a playoff team. I'm not ready to kind of jump ship on the Dallas Cowboys yet, where they signed Jason Pierce or not. But they did need to do it. But you got to read between the tea leaves a bit. They have no depth at tackle. They gave up on their 4th-round pick. Josh Ball, I think he was a 3rd-round pick 2 years ago. I got to double-check that. He's no good. Did Jerry Jones fail at the draft? Right now, I would say yes. Over the last 2 years, I would say yes. Outside of Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is really, really, really good at football. But those later rounds, no. Because it is week 1. Because it's week 1, we get to preview some football this week. And the Cowboys are going to play Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Sunday Night Football. Yeah, as you can tell, we're kind of featuring the Cowboys a little bit today. We're going to be doing this throughout the week. We're going to be previewing all the games. We're going to preview the Dallas Cowboys Tampa Bay Buccaneers game this week, which I can't wait for. Sunday Night Football. It's a good first matchup of the year. Tom Brady versus Dak Prescott, rematch of week 1. It's going to be an interesting matchup. I'll say that. Because I want to see if the Cowboys can beat anybody that's any good. Because they didn't last year. They averaged 40 points per game against NFC East teams last year and going 6-0. That number dipped significantly when they actually played competition. Because the NFC East wasn't good last year. It wasn't. Washington was bad. Giants were god-awful. And the Eagles were a rising team. They made the playoffs. It just made the Cowboys' record against the NFC East better. But the Eagles were not on the Cowboys' level last year. Week 3 could tell you that. Week 18, throw out the window. Who cares? Dallas deserves everything they get for playing stars against Eagles' third stringers in a meaningless game. Because the Eagles clinched their playoff spot. Dallas was 6-0 against the NFC East last year, averaging 40 points per game. In their other 12 games, counting the playoffs, 6-6, 25.6 points per game. You know what that tells me? The Dallas Cowboys did not beat anyone good last year. They did not. It is a fact. Don't give me the Chargers in week 2 because they didn't make the playoffs. Chargers were a good team, but they didn't make the playoffs last year. San Francisco proved my point. The Arizona Cardinals proved my point. Especially the Arizona Cardinals. Because they were in a free fall last year, if you remember. But the 49ers, double-digit penalties. Didn't know how to finish the game. Trayvon Diggs got burnt. Deebo Samuel stoned him. It was the Cowboys season in a nutshell. They were a very good football team. But they needed to beat the San Francisco 49ers, shut people like me up. They did not do that. Mike McCarthy is not that great of a coach. In fact, I'm not even sure if Mike McCarthy is going to be the coach of the Dallas Cowboys after this year because Jerry Jones has a love affair with Sean Payton. And he's not that he's going to be a free agent, but he's available. You got to get him from the New Orleans Saints first. So that's going to be interesting. That's going to be an interesting storyline that plays out all year. Mike McCarthy on the hot seat. Can the Cowboys eliminate the penalties? Can they overcome their offensive line issues, replacing 3 of 5 starters? Can Trayvon Diggs get 11 interceptions? I don't think we've had a player get double-digit interceptions since the 40s. Maybe not ever. Maybe since the 50s. I'm not even sure. But Consecutive seasons with double-digit interceptions is a lot. Michael Parsons is going to be a stud. He's going to be an absolute stud in 2022. I would not be surprised if that man had 15 to 20 sacks. I think I've said it on this program before. But let's preview the Tampa game here. Chris Godwin, big news out of Tampa yesterday. Chris Godwin, no knee brace. I was told by someone close in the Bucs camp, this was 7 weeks ago, Chris Godwin would be on the field week 1. 7 weeks ago, way before training camp. Bucs GM Jason Light was pretty confident on that. He's been confident on that for weeks. But I was told Chris Godwin was going to be on the field week 1. Week 1. Well, Chris Godwin doesn't have a knee brace, and he looks good for Sunday. And Todd Bowles said, well, looking at the injury report, it's going to be pretty clear. So I'm sure the Bucs will do their protocols for Chris Godwin, but I would not be surprised to see Chris Godwin on the field against the Dallas Cowboys. So you are going to have, this is going to be who the Cowboys will be facing. Mike Evans, only player in NFL history to start his career with 8 straight 1,000-yard seasons. Chris Godwin, who is the leader on the Bucs in receiving yards since 2019 and is one of the best slot receivers in the game. Julio Jones, second all-time in yards per game. I know he's not the same Julio Jones anymore, but he's going to be your number 4 receiver. And Russell Gage. Good luck. Oh, Tom Brady, that 45-year-old man, is throwing you the football, who led the NFL in completions, attempts, passing yards, touchdowns. That guy, Tom Brady. But the Bucs have some issues too. They have offensive line issues. Ali Marpet retired. They traded for Shaq Mason. That ended up being a really good move. Ryan Jensen hurt. Going to be out of the while. Their interior offensive line is just decimated right now. Decimated. Their left guard. I got to get their name up here. Let's see. Luke Gadecki. Luke Gadecki, rookie. He's going to be their left guard due to injury. So you got Luke Gadecki. You have Robert Hainsey, their center, and Shaq Mason. Three new offensive line. Now, they have good tackles. Tristan Wirfs, one of the best right tackles in the game. Donovan Smith, very good left tackle. They're good on the bookends. But the interior offensive line, Brady's going to be facing a lot of pressure from the Cowboys up front. If the Cowboys are going to win this game, their defensive line is going to have to show up. They're going to have to live up to their potential. From across the board here. Look, Neville Gallimore, he had a really good preseason at nose tackle. The Cowboys need him to step up. Bottom line, they need him to step up. Marcus Lawrence is back. Dorrance Armstrong, very underrated. I think he's going to get some sacks for him this year. Micah Parsons, you're going to need to pressure Tom Brady, especially with that passing game. You're going to have to. You have to. If you don't, the Bucs are going to tear this team apart. Everybody's healthy. I forgot Cameron Brate, Kyle Rudolph, and I want you guys to pay attention to this guy. Cade Otton, 4th-round pick. Bucs seem to like him. Tight end. He's going to be part of this. He's going to be a big part of this offense at some point this year. Maybe week 1, maybe not, but the Bucs really like this kid, Cade Otton, 4th-round pick. Not saying pick him up in fantasy or anything, but name the monitor. Jamal Dean is going to start at cornerback opposite Carlton Davis. He beat out Sean Murphy, buying for the job. Man, that's a pretty good cornerback group, isn't it? Jamal Dean, Sean Murphy bunting, Carlton Davis. It's a good problem to have at your Tampa Bay, especially when you're going up against Dallas's receivers right now. CeeDee Lamb, we're going to find out on Thursday night if he's going to be a number 1. I think he is, but we're going to find out Thursday night. Michael Gallup doesn't look like he's playing week 1. So you got to go with Jaden Tolbert, the rookie. We didn't have that great of preseason, but look who was throwing on the ball. Cooper Rush, Will Grier. Okay. Sorry, Sunday night. I said Thursday night. I think in 2021 all over again here. So that's going to be something to monitor too. Todd Bowles says Julio Jones is back to his old self. I don't know what that means. Old self is in he's healthy. Old self in these Atlanta Falcons, Julio, prior to 2020. If Julio Jones is anything near what he used to be, Tampa Bay is going to Super Bowl. Gotta be honest here. I mean, Tampa Bay would be the best team in the NFC. They're not my NFC pick to go to Super Bowl, by the way. I'll give that later this week. Akeem Hicks, major addition to that run defense. They don't have Jason Pierre-Paul. They don't have Dom Katsu anymore, but they got Akeem Hicks. Pairing him with Shaq Barrett. Bucs have been number 1 in the NFL in run defense the last 3 years, all with Todd Bowles as defensive coordinator. Now he's the head coach. You're going to need that to stop Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard. Remember, the Cowboys didn't even try to run the ball in this matchup last year. They just threw the ball. They threw the ball 40-plus times. They didn't care. They just did not care. So, Leonard Fournette versus the Cowboys D-line. That's going to be a big matchup. Fournette now under a multi-year contract. He's the guy. He's the guy in Tampa. Rashad White, he's the number 2 rookie. Watch out for him too. But Leonard Fournette is the guy in Tampa. Cowboys were number 20 in pass yards allowed. So again, it's going to come down to getting pressure on Tom Brady. If you're the Cowboys, it's going to come down to that. It's going to come down to, can their cornerbacks, Anthony Brown, Trayvon Diggs, can they stop their receivers? I don't know if they can. If they don't get pressure on Tom Brady, they're screwed. Forget it. Just forget. And obviously, before I bring on Mike Gill, we got to get the elephant in the room here, and that's Tom Brady. And we'll talk about Tom Brady right after the break. Mike Gill at 720.